And if this is your first time at a Somos meeting, we do record our meetings. That way we can always go back to those recordings and share them with our community. We host them not only on our YouTube page, but on our Google site, along with a slide deck. We'll be sharing that link later on in this meeting, but just know it's always available there. Tonight's agenda is pretty full. We've got, after introductions, Dr. Sonia Llamas, our RUSD superintendent with us. Dr. Jacqueline Perez, our RUSD Assistant Superintendent of Equity Access and Community Engagement. We also have an introduction from a new DLI principal, Jody Gonzalez. We have the FRC, also known as the Family Resource Center, here with us with some wonderful information. I'll be leading a short segment on some tips for getting started with DLI. So if you're a new parent, that'll be for you. We also have some cultural enrichment ideas, which deals with DLI Pillar 3 with Jackie Murillo, one of our board members. And lastly, some DLI updates, information specific about the program from an RUSD representative, our Esther Garcia. She's our coordinator for K through 12 DLI. House rules, please keep your microphones on mute. Everyone seems to be doing that already. You can unmute when you need to speak, or feel free to use the chat box for questions. This meeting, of course, is being recorded. And one last thing, if you have a question that you're not super comfortable putting in the chat and having read with your name, feel free to message any of the board members listed here and we can read it for you. If anyone needs interpretation, we should probably move this slide to the beginning so the rest of this is easier to understand. Please click the globe on the bottom of your screen to be transported to the Spanish channel. Okay, and hi, that's me. I'm Ashley Peak. I'm your Somos DLI president. With us tonight, we also have Jacqueline Murillo, our Somos DLI vice president.
Hi, everyone.
We also have Bianca Corrales, our Somos DLI secretary.
Hello, everyone.
And last but not least, a brand new face to our team is Dr. Stephanie Calvillo, our Somos DLI advocacy representative.
Hey there.
And all four of us here are parents of DLI students and representing this group to help support the program across all of our school sites. Our group would not be possible without the partnership we have with our wonderful DLI administrators, and those are Esther Garcia, our coordinator for dual language immersion K through 12. And our Patricia Thetford. Go ahead, Esther.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Thank you.
And Patricia Thetford, our TOSA, that stands for Teacher on Special Assignment for DLI K through 12.
And she will be joining us a little bit later.
Thank you. We'll have her say hello when she gets here. Okay, some background. What are we doing here? What is Somos? Somos means we are. Goals of Somos are to provide resources to all DLI families to ensure success, to foster communication between our school sites, our parents, and our school district. We seek to enhance the engagement of all of the stakeholders, our students, our teachers, our admin. We hope to encourage ideas and opportunities for students at those sites. And we hope to help you develop a roadmap for your journey in DLI with your student because you go from kindergarten to the end of high school, and that's 13 years. All right. Our first guest tonight, of course, is our USD Superintendent, Dr. Sonia Llamas. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Peak. I actually had a little bit of a slideshow, if I can go ahead and share screens.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second to stop sharing and then make you allow.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
And let's see.
Here you are. Mm. Okay.
For some reason, it's not capturing my Google for some reason. Give me 1 minute.
While you're getting that prepped, I should probably explain one of the reasons we keep this group virtual, even though we could meet in person, is
Mhm.
because it'd be impossible to choose a site for all of the DLI schools and have everyone get there at 5:30. So we figure this is the kindest way to gather and to share information. And tonight we've got 47 of us in this room. So just picture that being in a gym or a classroom outside. It would be lovely, but it would be, I think, a big undertaking.
Not sure. I don't know what's going on with, we've had a little issue with our Google. I did put the link in there if somebody would be, who is managing, can go ahead, because it's only going onto my other desktop.
Ms. Garcia, it's also linked in the slide deck that Ashley shared with you, so you might be able to click on it from there.
Sorry about this.
That's okay.
This is odd.
Esther, do you want me to go ahead and share? I have it up. You're muted. All right. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Perfect.
guys. So
There we go.
on to the next slide. Everyone has. Thank you. So I always want to start with what grounds me, and it's my family. I'm a mother of three. I have three boys, 12, 16, and 20. Pablo, Santiago, and Mateo. My husband of 21 years. It's when I made this commitment to Riverside Unified, it was a family affair. And I always begin that because it grounds me in my purpose in service, faith, and family. And community is what drives me. I think many of you have been able to see who I have been as far as the RUSD Connect, but more so as I've been involved in many of the meetings and just being present and listening to community. This position is not a title for me. The position of superintendent is very much so driven by purpose and service and collective impact. I have a great sense of responsibility to those that I serve. It is not a title. And for me, it is about leading by example and understanding that my forefront is always about making sure that our scholars and our families feel a high sense of belonging to our district, that we're always on the forefront related to innovation, and that we're always looking at our students and their success and what one person may be utilizing or need may be different from another. I think the other component that gives me great pride is knowing that I am now the second female to serve Riverside Unified School District, that I am Latina. My roots are from Zacatecas, Mexico. Both my parents have immigrated and I'm a first generation Latina. And I'm now the proud 13th superintendent of Riverside Unified. Thank you. A little bit about myself. I'm quite adventurous. I'm a little bit of a risk taker, as you can see. And I think for me, it is about providing opportunities for our students to become the best versions of themselves. What that looks like for every child is going to be unique, but we need to value our children's differences. I have three boys, and I know each one is very uniquely different. And for us, it's really being able to understand how to meet the unique needs of all of our scholars and to really strive to ensure that they become the best versions of themselves. Next slide. When I think about my why, as I mentioned, it's really about service and it is about uplifting. Many times, I've mentioned to the team, we're a product of the conditions that we're in. And this is about a collective commitment of all of our leaders and our team members to really strive and meet the needs of our individual scholars, as well as those that we serve are the educators, our classified certificated, and our management team. That's in our USD. Passion for me, it's leadership is an act of love and community. Community is all of us collective. It's not just our leadership team. It's our community, our families, our individual community partners that we work with, our Chamber of Commerce. It's all of us coming together for the collective effort and lift of our scholars. And then innovation, because of the risk taking and because of trying something new, the way we've done it, has it reaped the gains that we've needed for our scholars? Are there other ways that we can look at finding solutions or improving what we're currently doing? Because there's amazing work that's currently taking place across our schools. I want to maximize those bright spots. I see Miss Gonzalez over at North High School and just the work and the lift that's been going on at North over the last several years. And I want to acknowledge and champion our leadership as well as our scholars and our families to really look at how do we maximize and how do we elevate and how do we tell our story in Riverside Unified. And I think last but not least is systems thinking, because it goes back to a one size fits all is not how we need to be doing business and education. It is about removing the barriers for our students. It's about making sure that our children have everything they need to overcome, as well as every opportunity available to understand like what they possibly can be. When I think about different opportunities that I had, work opportunities that molded me from an early age to really choose this path of service, I think that those are opportunities that I want to make sure that our students have so that they can understand what they like and what they don't like, how they thrive, and so that they know that whatever they're going to go into when they exit our educational system in Riverside is truly their calling and their passion. Because I think through play, you find your passions to unlock your purpose in life. Next slide. Over the past several months, I've really locked into a 100-day plan. And this 100-day plan has been very much so rooted in listening and learning about our systems, about our programs. Sorry. And listening entailed individual meetings with our principals. I've been to 42 of our 51 school sites. And I started July 14th, so I've been rapid fire going to all the different sites. Just appreciated the time that the principals have provided to me and their openness in having conversations about how we can better our system, as well as just getting to know them. I'm a new leader coming into the organization, which is also the reason why I'm here and why I share a little bit about who I am, because I am not from Riverside, but I also know when I become part of a community, people don't know that I don't live in Riverside because I'm very visible and I'm accessible to our community. And I want to be that advocate as well as that thought partner, because parents and families, guardians are our partners in this work and the journey with our children and our scholars. I want to honor the history of Riverside and embrace that it's okay that we try different things, because I want our students to feel comfortable doing the same. Like, you need to be able to open yourself to other opportunities, and sometimes that doesn't always feel easy or comfortable. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. And I want our students to realize that, and to experience that, because that collaboration, that wanting to try something different is going to open so many opportunities for them in the future. And then the vision for every learner. When I think about our chamber, when I think about Collins Aerospace and Bournes Aerospace, UCR, RCC, San Bernardino, right next door, there's so many different opportunities for us to build our partnerships to strengthen our program within Riverside Unified. So for me, it goes back to, what is our collective vision after these 100 days? I'm going to be consolidating and aggregating this data, looking at themes. I'm bringing it back in front of our leadership team, in front of our board, in front of our community. I will be having a community advisory session and other town halls later in November and in October. But I would say the first 50 days has really been focused on getting to know our team internally, and visiting every single department. So by mid-October, I will be done with all department heads, as well as all school site principals. And then I'll be opening I'm already booked, according to Suzanne, my executive assistant. She already has me booked till I think November, but it's with community partners and parent groups, and I want to continue being part of these and learning and listening. So I think with that, just thank you for this opportunity to be introduced to this amazing network. And I really look forward to listening and learning alongside you and co-constructing what it's going to look like in our district with all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Llamas. We really appreciate you being here and hearing your story, hearing how your family's come from Zacatecas. It's beautiful to have you as part of our district, and also surprising to hear you're only the second female to lead our district. So I feel really proud as a woman that we've got another woman, so thank you. Are there any questions for anyone that's here for Dr. Llamas?
I can leave my email should anyone have a question later. I'm accessible, and if there's anywhere that the parents need me to be, please feel free to email me, so that way Suzanne can put it on the calendar and I'll be there. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Riverside.
Thank you, Dr. Llamas. It looks like we do have one question. It looks like Dr. Shabilsky.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation, and it's really wonderful to get to meet you in this setting. Can you talk with us a little bit about how you see DLI fitting into the larger curricular goals at RUSD? Maybe I'll just leave it there.
Sure. When you think about where our nations are right now, where the US and just the global economy, when you think about having language as an asset, and seeing that multilingualism, plurilingualism is an asset, I see this as being very much so embedded in elementary, middle, and high school, as well as how do we bring in our higher education partners? What are those opportunities or pathways to further enhance and reinforce global learning, and understanding how we can expand workforce development opportunities in the high schools for our scholars? To be multilingual in this day and age is such an asset. And when you look at California and you think about our economy, to have, be it Mandarin, Vietnamese, Spanish, these are all assets that our students are now you know, that they have language accessible to them to then further develop. And when you think about dual language programs and how students score with research, when you look at their assets related to proficiency on state standardized tests, they fare far better than their non-bilingual peers. So I see it embedded and expanded as well as reinforced within other programs. It's a matter of as I'm learning about the different programs across our school district, how we can further embed and collaborate across departments.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that answer. That's exciting to hear you say things like looking at the global learning and the workforce development, because I think so many of our DLI families look at how can we take this opportunity for our kids, this 13-year commitment, and then what? So hearing some of that kind of bubbling up now is exciting for the future of our kids and our communities.
If you're following where a lot of the funding has been going over the last several years, it has been the expansion of workforce development. And then most recently, I think over the last month, there has been movement of workforce development dollars. Traditionally, that has not been given to the Department of Labor has now shifted. So then there's that alignment. So we can start building these opportunities at a younger age for students to be more in tuned with utilizing the language that's then utilized in workforce with workforce partners and how all of our job categories. I learned more about this when we were with CTE and just the workforce collaboratives that I've been involved in over the last couple of years. But there's another world that we just haven't intersected with yet. And I feel like there's so many opportunities for us to learn and grow together.
Very exciting. Any other questions from our 71 people in this room now? Picture us all in a giant auditorium together. And if no other questions, we will take your email address. Oh, it looks like maybe one. Sorry. We will take that email address so we can have our participants send you questions. It looks like Ro Rodriguez is asking, are there plans to create more classes at the high school level for DLI?
So we do not have Dr. Sosa with us, and I do not want to misspeak, but I do know that the team is always looking at our resources and seeing and working alongside our principals to then determine what the needs are and the asks from our students. One thing that I would like to do differently that I haven't heard a lot is about student voice in program development. And I know it's been part of our LCAP, but I feel, I want to work alongside our principals to then determine what our students are requesting, not just as electives, but about programs. And I know we can't offer everything, but how things could be funneled to then further expand or ensure that whatever the offerings that our students are really looking at, as well as what our workforce partners are saying are those jobs of the future. So that way we have students getting a head start and a jump start with either certifications, internships, or apprenticeships. I know many of our high schools are doing amazing work in that area now, but it goes back to it goes back to that system thinking and looking at the different program offerings and the alignment across the board. So to go back to answering that initial question, is it expanded? I wish Dr. Sosa was here so that way he could kind of discuss like how the offerings were created up to date. But just know that these are questions that we will be looking at as a cabinet about how we grow our programs.
Thank you, Dr. Yamas. We have one more question for you. It looks like from Stephanie Gutierrez.
Hi, thank you. I wanted to appreciate what you shared, your honesty and positionality of where you're from, and saying that bilingualism and biliteral speaking, biliteral learning is just important given the political climate. I'm wondering, having my kindergartner who's starting to ask questions. We watch PBS. I'm a PhD student. I work on carcerologics. I'm wondering, like, if our students are seen as assets for who they are, being native speakers. I know that there's been research that DLI programs only exist because they let people with power know, like, hey, this is good for your kids too. This will benefit your kid too. And I just, there's certain things that I'm worried about. I'm worried that he's not going to feel like he matters here. I noticed in his school this year that there weren't many Latino, Chicano, Hispanic students in his classroom. And I think we know why. We know what's happening in these communities. And I'm wondering, I know schools are already so impacted with so many expectations, so many criticisms. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just wondering what we as a community are doing to make sure we're coming together and standing up against that and saying never again means never again for anybody, regardless of our communities. This can't be happening and we can't allow it.
Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez. I appreciate your honesty and your authentic self in what you stated. I first and foremost, as a school district, each and every one of our campuses, departments, where our staff is and our scholars, family that are at the forefront for us. It's about creating a positive, safe, welcoming environment for all children, regardless of race. Race, religion, language, gender. For us, we have non-discrimination policies. We have protections, board policies, and administrative regulations that govern our Riverside Unified School District. And for us, we underscore the importance with programs such as positive behavior interventions and support, but also in alignment with that is ensuring, each of our principals, I know I have Ms. Gonzalez and I have Dr. Perez and Dr. Square. When I think about our processes, we're all responsible as leaders of this district to ensure that we carry out that responsibility on our school sites and within our departments. And I think this is, I appreciate what you said, what you stated, because it is partnership. And as I mentioned earlier, we cannot do what we do in our in education without our parents, without our guardians, and without our community. It's so important now for us to come together and see one another through a lens of kindness and care and regard for one another, and to understand that we may have difference of opinions, but at no point can it ever cross the line with our civility and our humanity for one another. So I just know that anything that comes to our attention as a district is not taken lightly. And just thank you once again for your comment. And, when I think about language, I think about my experiences. I speak Spanish. My two brothers do not. They had different experiences than I did growing up. And so when I think, and as I share this, I say it in that because of the conditions, because of the experiences that we each embark in through our life journey, it creates us to be who we are as individuals, which is probably why service is so high up there for me and responsibility. But just thank you. I need everybody on this Zoom to just continue for all of us collectively moving the needles for our children.
Thank you, Dr. Llamas. We appreciate you being here so much and just being yourself with us on this meeting. I know there's a lot of people here, but it feels just like it's a small group. So we really appreciate that. Any other questions before we move along?
Sí, yo tengo levantada la mano.
Go ahead, Janet.
Ahorita que están hablando sobre las cosas que están pasando, el futuro incierto, ¿qué plan de acción se puede o qué se planea o si lo han tomado en cuenta con los recortes sobre que están surgiendo en otras áreas? Pero nunca sabemos si cómo algo vaya a pasar sobre la educación que tienen nuestros hijos sobre el bilingüismo.
So
My question is regarding what we're speaking about right now, about the future, the uncertainty about what's going on, what's going to be happening in the future as far as the bilingualism for kids. Are there any plans?
I think that's a great question. It's hard to predict what's going to happen in the future. I do know currently we are moving full steam ahead until we're told not to. But even then, I feel there's ways that our district, I know we have an amazing Riverside Unified team, and Dr. Perez and the other cabinet members are very are how would you say this? When I think about thinking outside of the box, when I think about utilizing our resources and leveraging them, that will be critically important, especially if funding is curtailed or whatnot in the future. We already had plans in place to ensure that program remained untouched. We also have our amazing FRC team in relation to resource and resource allocation, as well as policies and practices and toolkits that we created to ensure our community safety, as well as our scholar safety in schools.
Thank you, Dr. Llamas. I think we will pause on questions for now. Feel free to send them to anyone on our board or again, directly to Dr. Llamas. She's left her email there in the chat. We so appreciate you being here with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Miss Esther, if I could call on you to pull the slide deck back up again. Okay, our next face tonight is another doctor, Dr. Jacqueline Perez, our Assistant Superintendent of Equity, Access, and Community Engagement. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I come with a team, and so we wanted to use a little bit of time to share a little bit what has been communicated with regards, you can go ahead and click on the next slide. What has been communicated with regards to our immigration enforcement response, what we're doing at our schools, and really spend the bulk of our times with the resources that we have available to families. So if you click on the next slide, what you see here is what was communicated out a couple of months ago. And that's really our commitment to all students and families, regardless of what is happening. Every student has a right to attend school. Privacy, student and family privacy is protected. We do follow rules and regulations from the state and our district board policies around immigration enforcement, and we're not alone in this work. We're really happy Dr. Yamas is here to bring really this spirit and culture of belonging and together, that we are doing this work together to protect all of our students and our families and really the entire community of Riverside, and that we have support. So over the last few months, we've provided resources to our school sites and principals as to what would happen. And so they're prepared in case agents come on board. So as a team, because this really does span different departments that support schools, we have Gerardo Arenas, who is an administrator in pupil services, who's going to talk a little bit about some resources that we have and also what we already have laid out in our parent handbook. So I'll hand it off to him, and Esther, you can go ahead and click the next slide.
Well, good evening to everyone. Again, like Dr. Perez said, my name's Gerardo Arenas. I'm a program coordinator in pupil services. So some of our resources that we have shared, like Dr. Perez was saying, we do have board policy administrative regulations in place to address any immigration concerns or immigration enforcement concerns. And we're not alone in this work. We work as a team, we work as a district to make sure all our students feel safe and a safe learning environment. We provide a safe learning environment. Esther, if you can click on the annual notification and then scroll down to page 25, please. So every year we do provide parent-student handbook, or what we call annual notification, to all our families. And it goes into depth and detail as to our programs, our regulations, and then for this one, the immigration policy, page 25, the education equity and the laws that we follow when it comes to protecting our students and their rights when it relates to the free and appropriate free education for them. And what, as state law and local governing boards, our local governing board that we follow in saying, you know what, this is how we as a district will protect all of our students. And as you can see, what it reads here, what we are required not to provide to any individuals that may come on our campuses, the purpose of confidentiality, and how it is personal information that really only families are granted the opportunity or have the right to request. Really the only time that a outside entity can come in, immigration enforcement can come in to request information, it has to be, they have to provide a court order from a judicial warrant or a court order to request that information. That's really the only time that we, as a district, school sites are required to provide the information. Otherwise, we need written consent from the parent. If our student is actually 18 or older, then they provide that written consent. So if the written consent is not provided, then we, as a school site and as a district, by law, cannot provide that information. All of this also, as Dr. Perez mentioned, all our site principals, site administration have been provided with training and resources of how to address any immigration enforcement. And it's directly aligned to what our board policy, as well as the annual education equity, is directly aligned to what the Attorney General has sent out. And then as of this morning, actually, I mean, and just things evolve. I mean, things change when it comes to education. This morning, we received information from the California Department of Education of how under SB 98, it will require school sites to send out information, communication, I should say, send out communication to all our students, families, our staff, if there's immigration enforcement presents themselves to any school site. So whereas before, maybe just a parent that may have been enforcement, and we haven't had any, thankfully. If a immigration enforcement had arrived on our campus, really in the past, school sites would only statewide would only communicate that to the families themselves. But now with this SB 98 coming from the Department of Education, we will be now moving forward, providing communication to all our families. And then I think the next slide, please. I think that's for, I'm sorry, if you go back to the slide deck. And then I think that is will
Yes,
be
give me
Gabriela.
1 second.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gabriela Alonso, I'm the coordinator here at the Family Resource Center. I also have my team member, Susana Samudio, who is a little bit under the weather, but she couldn't miss this meeting. She wanted to be here with everybody. So I just wanted to share some resources that is available within our community. First of all, we're honored as a team to be able to support our students and families. Our goal is to partner with families so that they have the tools and information to support student learning and well-being. So as a Family Resource Center, we've been listening to families and students on how they're feeling about immigration, right? There's a lot of needs, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot going on with our families right now. And we want to make sure that families know that within RUSD, there's a lot of support, not just within the FRC, but many of our divisions, our partners are providing that support. So we've been open for 10 years already as a Family Resource Center. We celebrate our 10 years of support to our community. But over these 10 years, we've also developed trusted partnerships with our community partners, and we know who is out there supporting our families, doing the good work, right? So right now, what we're hearing from families is that there's not only just the immigration, the fears, but also the financial instabilities, right? Maybe individuals are not going to work anymore because they're afraid to drive to work. They're not accessing the same services, healthcare. We've heard from our healthcare partners that 40% of, they've seen a drop in 40% of families accessing community clinics, which is high. So that means we need to make sure that our students are still accessing the healthcare that they need. So here at the FRC, we want to make sure that families know that we're here to personalize services based on their need, connect them with other resources within the community. We work closely with our district nurse, and his team is providing immunizations, physicals, and other needs to support the healthcare of our students. And then counseling, we also have a therapist now here as part of the Family Resource Center, and she's been working since day one, connecting with families, and she's also connecting with SAP counselors, the student assistance program counselors at their site, working in partnerships with them so that we can make sure that the students are receiving the support at their school site. And then we work closely with our legal partners. Most of the questions from families is that they need someone to provide a consultation of how they could possibly have an opportunity to stay in the country or not be detained by immigration. And then the parenting support and childcare, we work closely with Riverside County Office of Education. They have many, many programs to support childcare and provide low-cost childcare and quality childcare, and then other referrals to our community partners. And one of the opportunities that we have is working with our Community Settlement Association partner. They've been in Riverside for over 100 years, and they have been providing social services and enrichment programs for our students and families for many years. And we have a satellite office in the east side of Riverside. And they are able to provide services that we don't as a school district. They have a food pantry twice a week, and they are providing food access to our families. They have a clothing closet, they have diaper distributions, and that's really helpful for our families because everybody knows the high cost of food right now. And then they're also experts in CalFresh and Medi-Cal applications, so they are able to expedite enrollment to these two programs. And then any need that families might have applying for other resources, legal documentation and preparation, and translation. Sometimes documents come in other languages and they need the translation so that they could understand what they're signing. And then the after-school program. And the other thing I want to also say is that the needs of our families are not just our Spanish-speaking families. We are seeing families from many countries who are now facing immigration, fears. And then, so the political climate, right, is really taking a toll on their mental health and well-being. So we're seeing families from many, many countries. And then, so just to get into the immigration supports that are available in our community, Dr. Perez or Esther, who's clicking on these? So if you could click on the Inland Empire Immigrant Youth Collective, please. Just wanted to share what they have available. And these are resources that we sent out to families earlier in the year. The Inland Empire Immigration Youth Collective is a collective led by youth, and they're putting out resources, up-to-date resources every day. And so they have information on red cards. We know how important the red cards are for families, hotlines for immigration, how to report immigration activity, or where to find a loved one if they are detained. The family preparedness plans are also available through this resource. And I know there's another link for another provider that has the toolkit. The step-by-step will provide families, and it comes in many languages, on how to complete the family preparedness plan and also how to find representation for immigration attorneys. If you scroll back up and on the tab that says resources, there's other information. There's legal support. Why don't we go into the legal support? They have some other information there. So they have a listing of our partners within our community that is offering free and low cost immigration consultations. Also the website to locate a loved one who has been detained. There's resources for students. We have college students that also need support and information, so they provide that information. And youth from this from the Inland Empire Youth Collective will be providing actually a workshop for us at our annual College and Family Engagement Summit. And Susana will talk a little bit more about that, and we have a flyer to share with you. But we want to make sure that students also know that they have the opportunity to go to college, and there's assistance for them. So let's click on the next listing that I have on the slide deck. Thank you. The Immigrant Legal Resource Center.
Okay.
And this is a national website, resource website, and they have many resources here. But they do have the red cards. They also have the family preparedness plan, know your rights. And one of the things that we're really encouraging families is to have a plan. We have families that we know, the loved ones who have been already detained, and there's no plan for the student, right? So having a plan is super important. Even in an emergency, you need to have a plan and designate someone to take care of your children, where to take them to the doctor, if they're going to be able to enroll them in school or do anything with the school system, and having an affidavit, right? So everything is listed here. And then there's another resource on the slide deck. And then TODEC is our go-to community partner. They have been providing education workshops for our school district for many years.
Did you say
And TODEC?
Okay.
Thank you. And so they are able to help families complete the preparedness plan. They also provide legal support and assistance for families. And again, they provide workshops for our community. DODEC is always advocating for families. They do a lot of work in Coachella Valley for migrant workers. They are on our speed dial on our phone, and they're always willing to help our families. And then mental health. Mental health is super important. We're hearing from our students and our families too, and our community partner Reach Out is offering free mental health services through clinicians, and it's a collaboration between Reach Out, True Evolution, and Sahaba Initiative. So partners coming together to support the community with mental health support. And then, so I don't know if you want to click on that. Instead, I think it takes you to takes you to the website and just gives you more information about the support that's available, particularly mental health for immigration. There's a flyer that you could share, a number, and other resources that they offer. And then the Children, Youth Behavioral Health Initiative. This is a California initiative, and they offer many, many resources. So if we could click on that. There's a lot of apps for children, for teens, coaching for parents, not necessarily just on immigration, but there's just on mental health overall. So there's a lot of information and support that is available for families here. So we encourage you to look through them, call the Family Resource Center for support. We work with a network of over 50 community partners to personalize services for families. We've met with our principals and provided a list of resources for them. We know that families have trusted relationships with staff at school sites. They might not know us here at the Family Resource Center, but might be talking to a counselor or someone at the front office already about their situation. We want to make sure that schools also have those resources, and we've been connecting with principals as well. And then in the Inland Empire, we do have 3 consulate offices, and we have great relationships with them. So they're providing legal assistance, accessing records for families, document preparation as well, and support for emergency services. So we have the Consulado of Mexico in San Bernardino, the Consulate of Guatemala, and the Consulate of El Salvador. We understand that, not all countries are here, but there is a directory where you could locate your nearest consulate for other countries. Most of them are in Los Angeles, Orange County, or San Diego. But if you click on the consulate locator, you could plug in what you're looking for, and it will let you know what the where the consulate is located and their contact information. So these are resources that we have available here at the Family Resource Center to support families. And one of the things we always say is that maybe you don't need these resources, but please let others know that these services are available for them. We want to make sure that families who might not be connected to the FRC already, that they know that we're here to support them. We will connect them with the resources that they need. If we don't have the resources, we will find the resource for them. And we have great relationships with community partners who are really here to support our students and families. And they believe and have the same values as we do. Want to make sure that students are going to school, that they feel safe, and they're going to homes where they are also getting their basic needs met. So I don't know if there's any questions or anything else that I can end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perez and Gabriela and Gerardo, for all of the information you just presented. It feels very comforting to know all of the work that you're doing and highlighting within our district, within the FRC. It feels like there's a ton of support out there for our community. So thank you for what you're doing, all of you. Any questions from the room? I can't see hands, unfortunately. Oh, I think I see one. Janet, go ahead.
Sí, alcancé a escuchar, pero no escuché también. Supongamos, si van por un alumno, tienen que ir precisamente a buscarlo, saber quién es. Pero si estuviera inmigración afuera de una escuela, ¿cuál sería el procedimiento? Sé que podría haber alumnos que podrían ver eso. ¿Qué haría la escuela si se presentara afuera y agarrara a algún padre?
So my question has to do with immigration. Let's say if a child were to be going to school and happen to see that immigration is outside of the school, what is the procedure that they would follow? Because this can something that could happen that students can see maybe one of their parents even detained.
I can start and Gerardo, if you want to add in. So we follow guidance from the Attorney General's office that is very clear as to what we can do and ask for all of the identification from the from the enforcement officer that comes onto campus. And so we pretty much follow step by step. The front office and principals have all of those steps as to what they do. They do have to have a warrant, a legal notification with a specific name attached to that. But that is something, as Mr. Arenas shared, that with new legislation, we will have to be notifying more broadly. And so some of these updates, we are working with principals in these next couple of months to inform them of some new changes coming. Mr. Arenas, you want to add?
Yes, we're here to protect our students, protect our community, our families. It's difficult to, with the guidance that we have and the rules and laws in place that we follow, are required to follow while on school grounds, school property. It's difficult to, that if they arrive and take one of our parents, of how we, I guess, get involved, the level of our involvement. But rest assured, we would do our due diligence to protect their student, their child, and make sure that they get the support that they need, and that based on that family plan that has been discussed, that Gabriela discussed, that we follow that to see who else, family members, extended family members that are available to the student to be able to bring them into their home.
Thank you for clarifying. And also, I just appreciate again your willingness, everyone that's here from our district, to talk about these issues and to make all of the resources known. I think so much of what's happening in our political climate is not always discussed in a way that we're seeing in this meeting. So it's really wonderful to see everything laid out so clear. It looks like we might have another question from Janet and maybe one more from Stephanie Calvillo, and then we will probably move forward with our agenda. So it looks like Stephanie, you're up.
Okay, so to follow up on what was said, I guess my main concern, sorry, I have like my phone on too. Hang on, let me turn it off. Can you hear me there? Okay, so I guess to follow up, so say if there was a raid at a school, I want to know if there's some type of a procedure that parents and students should be aware of. Because if ICE was to come to the school after, I mean, they're in a public space, they can take anyone they want pretty much. But what about our kids? Should they be aware that they should go back into the school if they have concerns about being out there. So what if someone's parents taken, or is a child going to be left alone with no one to take them home? So maybe set up some type of procedures that parents and students have available in case something like this was to happen for their protection.
So our site administration does have the protocol to follow. If you know that unfortunate incident does happen, of yes, bringing the student in back onto campus, and then as well as you know, following up on who to contact on the families and informing the extended families about of you know, if that parent was apprehended, detained, sorry, not apprehended, detained. So our site administration does have that information, as well as they share it with their site staff.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all of the information. We appreciate you being here with us this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to a bright spot of our DLI program, I'd like to introduce to you Jody Gonzalez, the principal of North High School.
Evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here this evening. I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself to all of our 29 current freshmen that are in the DLI program at John W. North High School. We're very excited for our first year in the DLI program. And I want to give a special thanks to Esther and Patricia and the instructional services team that helped us prepare and welcome and transition into the DLI program. We have 29 students in our first cohort of ninth graders, and we will welcome 48 additional students next year who are current eighth graders at University Heights Middle School. So we will be growing and growing as years go on, and next year again we will welcome 48 incoming freshmen from the class of 2030 into our DLI program. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to put a face to the name for some of the parents who I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. And we had a few DLI eighth grade parent meetings at University Heights Middle School last year, but I know I wasn't able to meet everyone. And I just wanted to say hi and welcome everyone to John W. North High School, and then also future Huskies in the DLI program too, that we will be welcoming in future years.
Well, welcome to DLI, Principal Gonzalez. We're happy to have you in our team.
And I just wanted to add one tidbit of information, just how we are invested in our community at North. Miss Gabriella from the Family Resource Center mentioned that the Community Settlement House on the east side is a resource for families in our city. They are just down the street from John W. North, and we have a 40 to 45 year partnership with the Community Settlement House. Every December, the week before winter break, John W. North has a school-wide canned food drive that we donate to the Community Settlement House. And that started way back in the late 70s, early 80s with Miss Doriella Anderson, who was the former coordinator for many, many years at the Community Settlement House. So I just wanted to provide that information as well, that we have a very strong partnership with the Community Settlement House, where we try to support them as best we can every year. And it's purposely right before winter break, because we know that's a 2-week period of time where kids won't be at school and have the opportunity for breakfast, lunch, and after school snacks. So we try to support our community as best we can during that time.
Thank you, Principal Gonzalez. That's lovely work you're continuing to do with our community. It's nice to hear about, and we're so happy for North High School, not only with your DLI program, but your site improvements. Lots of exciting things happening there.
Thank you. Miss Ashley, when she talks about mentioned site improvements, we're about 4 months away from finishing a $50 million Measure O modernization project where we are building a new 2-story, 8-classroom science building and a 12,000 square foot competitive gymnasium. So it has been a labor of love for the last few years, and we are so close to being able to occupy those 2 buildings for our students and our teachers and our community with the gymnasium. So we are getting ready to open up those 2 buildings. The plan and the goal is the first day of second semester when we return from winter break on January 5th. Both buildings will be open.
Very exciting. Thank you for being with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we did hear from the FRC, but we would love to have a few more minutes of your time for the FRC to talk about some more resources they have available to us. Is it Gabriela Alonso again or Susanna Zamudio?
Thank you.
Susanna, thank you.
Good evening. Hi. Well, nice to meet everyone again. My name is Susana Zamudio, and I am the supervisor of the Family Resource Center. So our main purpose is for you all to know that RUSD has a place to help families. We are located, and I already put it in the chat, we are located at the campus of the Riverside Adult School, right on Magnolia. We're there. We answer the phone. You will not listen to a recording. You will listen to someone that is going to answer you immediately. And whatever the question you may have, we are there to serve you. We are there to help you, guide you, whatever it is, that is our job, right? So at the Family Resource Center, you will be getting, and I know you have through Parent Square, all our flyers. So any workshops, parent academies, information webinars, most of them are from Family Resource Center because that is one of our priorities, is to give all those important tools to our parents. So one of the classes that we have and ongoing throughout the year is a 4-week basic computer class where parents get to navigate a little bit of our USD website or Parent Square, parent portal, Aries. But at the end of the 4 weeks, parents have the opportunity to obtain a free refurnished desktop. So, we're now used to using our phones to be in a Zoom meeting. So imagine if you need one, you can obtain one. And all you need to do is register in the QR code and you will see the dates there. On Monday mornings, I have a private group called Amigos, they are USD, and you are welcome to join. It's a private because all the information that we give there is for our USD. And every Monday we do what is called a cafecito virtual, ¿verdad? Cafecito virtual. Because we want to make sure that you get those news from RUSD, from the city. And believe me, our city is wonderful. They have so many activities for the families, and we make sure that our families know about the park events or the just city events, that it's all for the family. They're just great opportunities to do. And the next slide. We will be having a 1-hour webinar with the title, The Secret Language of Behavior, Uncovering Your Child's Needs, on Wednesday, October the 22nd. Like I said, we make sure that you check your Parent Square because we will be having those. Like tomorrow, for example, I don't know if the next slide will have that particular. Okay, so Cal Kids, a lot of parents are a little bit not confused, but wondering what Cal Kids is exactly, right? So California is providing scholarships as they are born. So a lot of parents have those questions. So we invited Riverside County Office of Education to come and give us an hour of information of what Cal Kids is. And basically it is a scholarship for our students. And so it will let you just ask the questions that you may have. Can you put more money in? Or at the end of their senior years, what about if they don't go to college? You know, all those questions that parents have. This is a great opportunity. Our October the 7th is going to be our first information webinar on Cal Kids. Then the next slide. This is our general flyer that we have. Again, the Family Resource Center is definitely there to help the family with community resources. What are the barriers for our students not to learn? So if our students it's going through just problems at home, there's no enough food, there is maybe domestic violence or anything that is really not taking that little space in their mind, right, of the kids. We want to make sure that we remove those barriers to learning. We want to make sure that our students are in class every day and learning about what they need to learn, right? The core classes, math, English, science, history, all that. So what we are connected is with 50 agencies in the city where we can make sure that all those barriers that the family has are removed. So that's what our number one priority. Second is giving the parents the tools. So that's our information. And we update this flyer every 3 months. And then the next is our next one. Yes. So also we invited our COE, Riverside County Office of Education, to give us information on Early Care and Education Division of Early Education Services. So many parents, one, they need childcare and they don't know where to go, what daycares are out there. Our COE provides a list of daycares. Another is how to pay it. So some parents may not have the funds. Maybe they qualify for some help to pay childcare. And the third, what about if some parents want to start their own business? So this 1 hour information webinar will cover those 3 areas, right? Resources, what daycares are out there, how to provide the funds or how to get funds for childcare. And third, if there is anyone interested in starting their own daycare at their home. The next one, and that's October the 1st. This is PIQUE. So PIQUE is Parent Institute for Quality Education. This is a great parenting class that is we have selected. Is not the same schools every year. The program to come to the school and teach parents a little bit about the school system, how to navigate the parent-teacher conference, understanding those state exams, understanding why some students are English learners versus the others that are not. But the main purpose of Parent Institute for Quality Education, it's the 4-year plan in high school. What the parents need to know to support their child, do the A through G, the GPA, the SAT, ACTs, and understand more about FAFSA. So this will be at Sierra Middle School starting October the 8th. And even though your student is not at Sierra, you are welcome to come. The next one.
Susana, can I just mention that
Yes.
both of these schools are DLI schools? Sierra and University Heights are DLI schools.
Awesome.
So parents, DLI parents, take advantage. This is an amazing program.
I always say that parents that take the first, this is a 5 lessons. That's it. And it goes super fast. It's an hour and a half, and it will be virtually too. But you will learn things that even if you went to school here in the United States, you graduated from middle and high school and went to college, believe me, there is new things now that every single parent needs to know about the college admissions. Okay, so this is an opportunity to be part of it. Uni is going to start October 1st and Sierra is going to start October 8th. You're all welcome to join and be part of it. So one of our best events with partnering with College and Career is our Parent Summit. College and Career Family Engagement Summit is going to be on Saturday, October the 25th from 8:15 to 1:30 or 2:30, 1:30. Free continental breakfast, free childcare, free breakout sessions in various topics. We will have lunch provided. Family, this is an opportunity to take your entire family and learn everything around college and career. At the end of the event, we will be having a community fair with over 40 agencies with information about medical, nutrition, law enforcement, colleges. We're going to have even, as you see, some of the logos. Stanford University is going to be there. So it's so neat to just talk to some of the schools and see how you can help your student, that route, right? To make sure that parents understand and all your questions, that you may have can be answered that day. So save the date, October the 25th, Saturday at Ramona High School. Okay, just really quick, because I know it wasn't there. We also have tomorrow, Understanding Childhood Trauma and Toxic Stress. That is a 1-hour webinar. We at the Family Resource Center next week on Tuesday, we will have the District Attorney, Riverside County District Attorney's Office, and they're going to give a webinar on internet safety and cyberbullying. Great webinars, you guys. They don't allow us to record the webinars because it's sensitive information, and they use a lot of examples that happen here in Riverside. So I will recommend for you to be there. Sign up for that 1-hour webinar, Internet Safety and Cyberbullying, on Tuesday, September 30th at 6:30. It's just an hour. You don't have to, there's no microphone and there is no video. You just listen and see the presentation. I think it's a great opportunity for all parents because, we all know that our students have this little thing in their hands 24 hours, and we need to know what's happening in their internet world. We also have two support groups, one in Spanish and one in English, for those parents that have students with maybe some behavior problems or challenges, and then you just need that help, right? That support. If you have children's mental health or emotional or behavioral challenges, we have the first Friday of each month. We have a support group in Spanish the second Friday of each month. It's in English, in person, there at the Family Resource Center. And those you should be seeing all the those flyers in the Parent Square. I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope to see you in some of our webinars or in the Parent Institute for Quality Education. You will love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susanna. She is a rock star at the FRC, I've got to say. She attends every RC PTA meeting. She is everywhere. They work very hard to support our district. So thank you for what you do. It looks like we do have a question, and also welcome Board Member Tweed. Go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I just want to introduce myself, Jesse Tweed, trustee for Area 4. I'm one of your board members, also a proud DLI parent. But thank you for all that helpful information. I know there's so much the district and the community has to offer. It's really hard to keep up myself as a busy parent. So staying connected and the mail outs and just meetings like this are really appreciated as a parent. I also just wanted to put out there, as a board member, I'm fully committed to the DLI and want to support your program however we can. And so hearing from you is probably the most important thing I can ask. So if you see me or email me, or I'll do my best to respond and advocate for what needs are needed at the program. But I'm a big believer and supporter of the program. It's our family. I have 2 girls in it, and we couldn't be more happy with the work this whole community has done. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tweed, for being with us tonight and speaking on behalf of the program. We're lucky enough to have him at my students' elementary school site as a dad. So we appreciate your support, and everyone email him your questions and comments because he's serious.
Yes, definitely, please. Otherwise, I won't know.
That's right. And I would say that is a huge thing that I've learned being involved in parent groups like this one is that we have to come together, we have to use our voices and connect with one another in order to make change or make anything better, more efficient, more available, whatever the goal is. Okay. Moving on to our next slide, I think this is my little portion here, and I do appreciate all of you for hanging in there tonight. This meeting was beefier than we normally build them, but we had so many topics we wanted to cover that we felt were important to all of our DLI families. I'd like just to see a show of hands really quickly. How many parents are in this house tonight, this virtual house, that are brand new to DLI?
Let's try being nice.
Put your little hands up. You can go like this, or you can raise, yay, we've got some new parents. Okay, wonderful. I wanted to make sure there were some of you that were new here, so this information didn't seem like old news. Next slide, please, Esther. So I'm a DLI parent too. I've got an 8th grader in the program and a 4th grader. We've been through the years in this, and my fellow parents and I have a few tips and tricks that are helpful when you're just getting started. Whether or not you are coming from a Spanish dominant home or an English dominant home, everyone will eventually get homework that comes home that you are not sure what to do with. You don't know how to read the assignment, you don't know how to read the textbook, the math program, whatever it is, math problem. One really simple thing, many people are tech savvy, but if you're not, there's this handy thing called Google Translate, and it has a camera function, and that's the big tip here. It is, you can turn it like you're seeing in these images. If you have especially like a math program that's a word problem and you're trying to figure out with your student how to solve this problem, and maybe you don't have access to the language that you would prefer to read it in, you can use something like this to hover over that image and get enough clues to figure out what it's asking. I do add in here, it's a great Band-Aid for translation. It does not always work for direct translation. Sometimes you'll get some strange, weird combinations of words and sentences, but it will definitely help you and get you on to the next step. Also wanted to point out, excuse me, my voice is going. We have a wonderful library system here in our city. And one of the things that we have access to, if you have a library card, is the cloud library. I know all of you brand new DLI families will be given some sort of a reading list, right? You're going to have that reading log. Your students have to fill it out every week. And that means that you as the parent have the job of finding new books for your students to read. This resource is wonderful, not only because it's free, it's accessible with your library card, but they also have digital books you can read. It's not just taking the time to get into the library, because we all have infinite amounts of time to do that every week, right? I know I certainly don't. So definitely take advantage of this. Take a picture of that QR code and check out our public libraries.
Ashley, they also have kind of like the Amazon lockers. You can, if you don't have time to go pick them up during operating hours, you can reserve your books. They'll put them into one of those lockers. They'll give you a code and you can check out your books that way as well.
That's amazing. Our public libraries are such a great resource. Next slide, please. These are some more resources available at the public libraries. They've got tutoring help. There's Pronunciator. It literally teaches you how to say the words correctly. My students are always writing on me for how I pronounce things in Spanish. So use these things. Go on there and get your free resources. Last thing I think I want to mention is if you are new to DLI, new to RUSD then, you're probably just becoming aware of the technology that your students have access to. So definitely take some time to get familiar with these 3 apps, Google Classroom, Clever, and Chrome. Chrome is one you should all probably know about anyway. The reason I enjoy it is because I can save each of my children's login information to a separate Chrome profile, and it doesn't interfere with anything that I've got saved into the computer. So if my 4th grader comes home and needs homework help, I can just open his Chrome profile and log right into his account. It's probably already there still from the last time. If my 8th grader comes home and has questions, I can do the same with hers kind of simultaneously. That's just something that has saved me a ton of work over the years to get that set up. So I highly recommend you become familiar with this. And sorry, the last thing I will mention, I already put the link in the chat for our Google site. Somos DLI has been a group now for I think about 5 years, and we have saved all but 1 meeting recording, and it's listed on that site. It's hosted on that site. We also have the accompanying slide deck with each of our meetings. We post any flyers, we post any meeting dates or information. And last but not least, a wonderful book list for parents that was actually created by our TOSA, Patricia Thetford, who's the one who writes the curriculum for this program. So it's a very comprehensive list. Again, we'll help you with that reading book list that I know all of you kinder parents are getting this month probably. Okay, that's enough for me. I'm going to hand it over to Jackie Murillo for Cultural Enrichment, DLI Pillar 3.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to make it quick because it's already getting pretty late. I want to apologize for just bringing this up in September, but we won't see each other until mid-November. So I wanted to bring this up and just share with you guys how at our school we engage in our Pillar 3, which is the social cultural aspect of the DLI program, and how we kind of run that from a volunteer perspective, also slash PTA, and just being a supportive parent. Next slide, please. So here just is more information on how it kind of comes together with the Dia de los Muertos community altar, which is November 2nd. It's also known as an ofrenda, and it ties in with Pillar 3 as a cultural awareness. It brings in also identity of belonging. It gives the students respect for diversity, community connections. It also brings in language and context and empathy and understanding. And one thing that I did want to bring up, this is a community altar. So the whole school is invited to do this, not just DLI. So the single language classrooms are also invited. In the what I've seen with my kids' classes is that they will also do altar in their classrooms, but what I'm presenting is what we help with the community altar. And in the next slide is what we bring together. So pretty much the whole school participates. Each grade is responsible for one element of decoration. We have paper schools, the monarch butterflies, the sugar schools, papel picado, candles, albrijes, and the paper marigolds. This is all volunteer work. The teachers will work on these projects during the school hours, and then the volunteers, we just do it after school and we just bring it all together. We get about like 20 parents that we just put this all together, and it takes us like an hour, and it's such a cool experience because we really get to share. I'm Mexican, so I get to share what this means to me, and um, I've had very memorable moments with other parents and even students on what Dia de los Muertos means. So it's really something really awesome that I love bringing to our school. And everybody is welcome to bring pictures of loved ones that have passed, and even pets are included. I know this is kind of like a zoomed out picture, but there's like a little area where all the pets are at. And we'll ask for real marigold donations. And we will keep this up during the teacher conferences. So everybody gets an opportunity to just share what we bring together as a community. And it's something so beautiful. And I'm so proud to just bring that to our school. Um, I'm not sure on the next slide, Ashley. Oh, no, she didn't, but I'll put it in the chat. I'll put my personal email. If you guys want more information on how you guys can adapt a version of this in your school, I'm more than happy to help. I do work with the lead of our school to do this, so she's given me all the curriculum and how it all ties in. So if you guys really want to see the back end of all that, I can definitely help you. So I would love to see and help in any way that I can to bring this to your school too. So just to finish this up, Ms. Bianca wants to invite you guys and la comunidad latina to celebrate la herencia hispana, and she's going to speak a little bit more about what we're going to celebrate that day.
So I'm also the president of Comunidad Latina de Riverside, and every year we try to celebrate our Hispanic Heritage Month. This year we'll be celebrating at Sierra Middle School. It'll be on a Monday from 6 to 8. There'll be dancers and music, and we'll have some guest speakers. So come out and celebrate and enjoy the festivities. We did it on a smaller scale just because of everything going on. We want families to feel safe. But please join us in celebrating your Hispanic heritage.
Thank you so much, ladies. I believe our final presentation for the evening, thank you for waiting patiently, Mrs. Garcia. We have Esther Garcia for Dual Language Immersion, coordinator for K through 12. And I know there were questions in the chat about who the coordinator was for North High School, but the only coordinator for DLI is Esther Garcia for all sites.
Thank you, Ms. Ashley. Hello, parents. Yes, I am the coordinator for all 12 DLI sites, with the newest addition being North High School. And we are a kindergarten through 12th grade program. So I'm just going to give some updates that are coming up, very important updates, especially our fall 2026 application. I cannot believe fall is already here. First of all, summer seemed to have just come and gone. I love summer. So it went too fast for me. But our application, we kicked off our recruitment parent meetings yesterday. It was very exciting to see so many parents at our very first virtual meeting. And we have some more coming up. We do have the dates here. So our fall 2026 application will open on November 1st, 2025 at 12 noon. We always open it up on November 1st to make it easier for parents to remember. And it closes on December 19th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Do not miss out on the opportunity to apply for your child if they are an incoming kindergarten student. Kindergarten student age is September 1st of the entering kindergarten year. They must be 5 years old when they start kindergarten. So please make sure that you apply. And don't miss out on the opportunity, because once we close the application on December 19th at 4 p.m., we will not open it up for any reason or under any circumstance. So don't miss out. The application will be posted around mid-October, but it will not open until November 1st at riversideunified.org. We will also send out notices via Parent Square when the application has opened. But the home is riversideunified.org/DLI. Here are the multiple dates where we will be at providing information about our DLI program and the application process, along with the transfer process. These are only the meetings that I can put on this slide. However, we are invited each year, and I hope to be invited again this year, to the Cafecito with Susana Zamudio. So one of the Mondays. The reason the date is not here is because I haven't set it up with Susana as to when we can come enjoy her on one of her Mondays for Cafecito. And we also go to other virtual community events, like I will be there at Ramona for the college fair, and I will also hope to be there for our heritage celebration that Bianca just mentioned. But don't miss out any of these. Oh, by the way, this is a question that parents do ask me and call me about, is can I attend more than one information session? Yes, you can attend all of them if you want to. You are more than welcome to come to any and all. Other important dates coming up. Next Somos DLI meeting, don't miss it, November 5th, 2025 at 5:30, also virtually, same Zoom link. Elementary minimum day, October 31st, 2025. Please get the release time from your school. I did not put the release time here because our schools have different release times. So please make sure that you ask your school about the minimum day on October 31st. It's so convenient because it is Halloween day. I love Halloween. Parent-teacher conferences. Do not miss out on scheduling your parent-teacher conferences coming up also November 6th and 7th. November 6th and 7th, you will get to meet with your teachers, your children's teachers, and get that wonderful information. So don't miss out. Put these dates on your calendars. We hope to see you on November 5th, and Miss Ashley, it's all yours again.
Thank you so much, Esther, for the information. I do believe this is where we end our meeting. We have one more slide for you, just with some contact information. Everything listed here is still current. We do have a DLI Facebook. We do have a Somos DLI Facebook. We also have a new Instagram. We have a Google site. We have an email address. That's my personal email address. That's Esther's email address. Feel free to reach out to us. We want to support you and your students at the site that you're at. I'll stay and answer the question, but for everyone else that's ready to be gone, because you've been with us for almost, 2.5 hours, thank you so much for your time. And we appreciate you so much, George Magana, for being our interpreter on the other side. Thank you for being our bridge to all of our Spanish speakers tonight. Blanca, go ahead.
Sí, sí, buenas tardes. Solamente quería mencionar, yo tengo una hija en el DLI desde el kinder y ya está en su último año de high school. ¿Hay algún evento o algo especial para los estudiantes que van a salir este año?
Yes, we do. We do have a special celebration for our graduating class. And the information will be coming to you from the school, depending on which school it is. Oh, I'm sorry, George. Yes, you can go ahead and interpret.
Okay, she asked. She has a daughter, and that's been in DLI since kinder, and she's in the her last year in high school, and she wanted to know if there's some kind of event that's gonna take place so when she graduates.
And I mentioned that, yes, we will have a special celebration for our graduating students, both at Ramona High School. Ramona will be graduating their very first cohort. We're so excited that they've reached the 12th grade, and we will continue to celebrate our graduating class at Poly High.
All right. If no more questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. I'm a mom just like many of you parents are. I'm accessible. I care about your students' future in DLI, and have a lovely evening. We'll see you in November. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Esther, for handling all of the slides always. You're the best like stage crew ever, because you're always on the slides and recording. I don't know what we'd do without you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's no trouble. Great meeting. Lots of really good information for our parents. I'm so happy.
That was a good
We had
one.
and we had a good attendance.
Yeah, it was like
Very good
70.
attendance. So
I saw 71 at the high point, but then we still
Nice.
held at about 50 for most of it,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, everybody.
Very nice.
Alrighty.
Rest and hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hope
Have
to
a
see
good
you
night.
soon. Bye, guys. Good job.
Bye.